going, everyone? Clint with Rock Haven Customs. In the previous video, I was talking about this 7800 John Deere. I'll show you kind of what I've got cut off and what I've got started on. I'm going to kind of make this a short video just to try to keep the videos from being so long. I've been working on the front axle on this, so it does steer on one side. I haven't got the other side finished yet. And I've also got the axle, so it will oscillate back and forth. And then I've built the planetary for the hub on the outside. And I've got my brass so it'll sit inside that and it'll be able to pivot back and forth. I've still got to build the steering and the other side of the front axle. It's hard to do any videos doing that small of a part, but on to the rest of the tractor. What I've done is I've cut all the steps off, which they will be getting new steps put on. I cut the grill out. I will be building a grill for it. I cut out on an open station John Deere. I did buy me a laptop over the weekend so I can maybe go live at some point if that's something y'all want me to do, but it also I can bring it with me down to the toy room to be able to blow pictures up and see more in depth what is actually needs to be done to the tractor. Like I said, I've cut this out. These will get little headlights in the fender here, in this part of the fender. I've cut all the back end out, cut the hitch off, cut the front off on it. I did JB weld this together, and when I did, I put a drilled this axle running through the rear end so I could put a little bit bigger tube in. That way I can put my axles sticking out. Looking at pictures and stuff, it looked like it had a little step where it come out of the housing and it dropped down a little bit, and then you had your rim and tire. And another reason I did that is also it'll set the tires, the spacing the same. I measured and marked so that each side coming out of the axle housing, these tubes are the same on each side. In the back, what I've noticed, they have a black shield plastic that will run here, so I've got to cut a piece of styrene or brass to go in here, and once I get the tractor all painted, then I can go back and detail this part back here and paint it black. I've also got to build the 3-point for it. I've got to build the steps coming off this side. Some do show that there's steps coming off of here. I'm not sure yet if that's something I want to do. I've still got to fill in this rivet hole, but I've really tried to look at a lot of detailed pictures and try to find out what all needs to be done to the tractor. I also said in a previous video I was waiting on something to come in to be able to get back on my hay wagon. Let me set this down and I'll show you. So I don't know if any of you've ever seen them or y'all have used them, but these here blocks, it's just a pin that goes through, and you can put your flat stock in there and it'll cut it out. I've got one here that I cut out to be able to start building the hub on the front end, but it'll take and punch that piece out. So you can get these off of Amazon or eBay. They are disc cutters. There's different kinds. It just depends on what you want to spend on them. I didn't spend a whole lot on that one. I think it was less than 40 bucks. And then the other piece that I was waiting on to be able to do some more things with wheels and stuff like this is it's a dapping block, doming block, whatever you want to call it. And so for instance, you put your flat piece down inside here, and then you would take your block and you take a hammer and it will dome your brass. So the reason I got it is when I go to build the wheels for the hay wagon, I can take my tube in here, you put your tire on. Let me slide this on. So then you have a rim for your tire. Well, then you take your next size brass, which I've got it stuck in, and I found the camera here. You can see there, as I'm pushing it, it makes the step up on the wheel itself. But when you cut out these are some disc blades that I was trying to do, but as you can see, it's kind of got a dome shape to it now. And it's a lot of time doing this, and it's a lot cheaper to buy other things. But you know, the way I look at this is, you know, I built all the pieces to it. I didn't buy parts and pieces. I took brass and formed it so that you would have your own custom style wheels. So this is what I was waiting on. I had my knockout already, and I've got some center punches when I did tool and die that have a point on it. The reason that I got these is because here we go. You put your brass stock in there, and I can run this down and barely tap on it, and it'll put a center in your piece. You see how it's got a divot. Of course, this one's I was doing it a different way, but you can see that it puts the divot in the center. And then once you get everything soldered up, you can come back and your drill press or your regular drill and drill out the center to be able to put a like a hub in the end of it, like so. So you'd have your hub sticking out, and then you can take your smaller brass and slide into that, and then as you build your trailer, you will have a spindle that you can weld this part that's sliding into here. This piece will get welded to the frame, and then this piece will be slid in, and you can make it so everything's ties together. That's probably a lot to understand. But like I said, as I kind of get back into building and getting used to this soldering iron, I can, take a few minutes to do some small projects to explain and help with those that would like to get into brass work. I really enjoy building scratch built stuff, and I mean, you can do this with trucks, semis, pickup trucks, and farm equipment. So the dapping block is what I was waiting on to, and I think I got this off of eBay, and I believe it was like shipped to the house. It was like $40, a little over, not much. But if you look, you can buy the knockout block and the dapping block in a kit, and you might be able to save a little bit. But at the time, I just bought that, and realized as time goes on that you need this to make like a divot, concave or recessed style wheel. So, but that's what all I'm gonna discuss today, and kind of show y'all. Like I said, I worked on this Saturday for a little while, and I've worked on it a little while this afternoon. Today is Monday. So I was just going to kind of keep y'all up to speed with what's going on with the John Deere here. Like I said, as I build stuff, I will show you what I've done. When I go do the ladders, I can probably show you when I build the ladder. And building this stuff is very tedious work, very time consuming, and it's very irritating. But if that's what you want, you just got to keep trying until you get it, and then you got to learn your soldering iron and how hot you can get stuff. But anyhow, that's going to wrap it up. I will continue to do updates on this little tractor as we go. After I get the front end made, I will either start on a 3-point for the back, or start building the steps or the grill. So there's still a lot to do, and still plenty to show. So anyways, that's going to wrap it up. Hope everybody had a great weekend, and hopefully this week I can get something else out towards the end of the week. But take care, everybody. See you next video. Thanks.